The eldest sister is the fiancée of Prince Li Chengzi. I will marry into the East Palace in the future. But after a cold, the eldest sister wants to divorce Li Chengzi. And not only that, even my love history with King Li Chengyuan of Jin, the eldest sister also wants to intervene. Superiors will fail. The eyebrows of the Pei family are already prominent enough. Hearing the words, I knew that the eldest sister had also been reborn. The moment you open your eyes, even if the daughter dies, I will never marry into the cave palace. Chang Tia accompanies Ming Shu to force him to retire from Prince Li Chengzi. The engagement between the eldest sister and Li Chengzi 3 years ago. At that time, Peking was already in the Dingbo Palace. Another palace. Your Majesty cannot seal it. He only gave the long solution to Li Chengzi as his concubine. After that, he would marry into the Eastern Palace. As a twin sister, was assigned to Li Cheng, the 5th prince of Li Chengzi's half-compatriot. So the 5th prince and Li Chengzi made great contributions together. Just been named a forbidden king. Uncle, are you crazy? Your marriage to Li Chengzi was personally given by the emperor. How can you just return it if you want? I reprimanded him. Rise and fall. Pei's eyebrows are already prominent enough. Facing Pei Jin's rebuke, the eldest sister acted very calmly. Next moment, he has come to the erosion of even A Yue and Li Chengyuan. Also return it together. I am convinced. He is also reborn. The fate of our Pei family in the past life. Each one is more miserable than the other. After I went through Gigiri with my eldest sister, he married into the Eastern Palace and became the princess. And I married into the Jin Palace. It became a waste of twins. Li Chengzi and Li Chengyuan are brothers again. This used to be a beautiful altar for everyone in Beijing to feast on crabs. She became pregnant shortly after a long marriage, but the child was never born. When the eldest sister was pregnant in May, on the way to the prince, the eldest sister blocked a deadly blow to save him. Disrespectful. But it was not guaranteed. After living there, the eldest sister was unhappy for a long time. Chengzi dismissed his wives and concubines in the mansion for the sake of his eldest sister, and the crown princess are in love with each other. Even I thought so. Later, the eldest sister became pregnant again. Lessons learned from the boss. This time, the eldest sister is very careful. Even the Queen Liang exempted the eldest sister's greetings. But the child was still not saved. The imperial doctor said, the last time my eldest sister was pregnant, she hurt her body. Now his body is not well. They are not fit to have children. The world seeks more children and more happiness. The husband of the eldest sister is still Li Chengzi was forced to took in a few more machines. As heir to the throne, he cannot be without children. But Li Chengzi doesn't love those machines very much. Most of them are in the eldest sister's room on weekdays. Even the eldest son of Emperor Lin Liang. Li Chengzi also sent him to Zhangji's Every child that uncle cries will be yours. But if it's not a last resort, what woman is willing to support her husband? What about children with other women? After Li Chengzi succeeded to the throne, the eldest sister naturally became the queen. Emperor Yun Liang as the biological mother of the emperor's concubine Shu. But the eldest son of the emperor is still raised in the name of the eldest sister. He will become the prince. At that time, the new brother often told the eldest sister, compared to the first prince, I would rather make our child a prince. So the eldest sister, and I was drinking this really bitter soup. The medicine is to give birth to a child for the new brother. More to drink. The eldest sister's stomach still doesn't move. The eldest sister feels guilty because of this. Treat the concubines of the new emperor's harem more kindly. It's really equal. Mother instrument world until the food dies. We just know. It turns out that the eldest sister can't give birth. It's because of Li Chengzi's own hands. Took the medicine for him. Let the eldest sister lose. The suicide of the first child. It was also directed and acted by Li Chengzi. During that time, my eldest sister took a lot of medicine to nourish her body. Li Chengzi personally took Ji's medicine. It was mixed into the tonic of the eldest sister. But the eldest sister still had a second child unexpectedly. It's a pity that the child wants it because of the decision. Destined to be unborn. All the royal doctors who have been on the pulse for the eldest sister know the truth. Still dare to tell the eldest sister things. Because from the very beginning, the end of the eldest sister and the Pei family. It's already doomed. Li Changze is worried about the danger of foreign strange. I don't want the queen's mother's family to be too powerful. He married his eldest sister as his concubine. It's just the first step towards Pei's destruction. And Li Changyuan married me. It's just the destruction of Pei Shi. Just added a fire. Pei Jin and Su Shi. I think the eldest sister has changed the world. Locked up the eldest sister. Pei Jin quietly asked someone to go out of town to hire a famous doctor. Enter Beijing for diagnosis and treatment. But my eldest sister and I are very clear about it. He doesn't have a kite. He wants to save the poetry family. Me too. So I went to see Beijing. Indicated that the congressman who wanted to divorce Li Songyan, red-faced with resentment. It took a long time to ask harshly, "What happened to Ayu?" That's why you are all clamoring to refund your relatives. I hesitated for half a reward. The doctor said that if the eldest sister marries into the Eastern Palace, he will lose 2 children in a row, and was personally fed the medicine by Li Changze. But after Li Changze succeeded the throne, he will be the first to take the compensation business as Keller. Pei Jin will be framed for plotting rebellion. If you die unjustly in prison, the eldest sister will be thrown into the cold palace, being bullied every day. Finally die alone. Mei Heng will unknowingly. His most trusted lieutenant, Zhang Qian. A sword pierced the heart. Pei Yu. Training is unfortunate. Training will rebel. Every day for training. Refused to plead guilty. In the end, it fell to a dead body. And I paused. Just slowly. As for me, King Li Chengyuan of Jin will use me. Evidence of rebellion against Pei Jing's map. Hidden in my birthday gift to Pei Jing. Becoming the most crucial part of training a teacher in Ban Island. Pei Jing Wenyan. Becoming the most crucial part of training a teacher in Ban Island. Pei Jing Wenyan was shocked. He was slightly flustered. Pei Jing subconsciously walked out of the study. See no one left or right. Then I closed the door with confidence. And he looked at me and he said, "Do you know what you're talking about?" I nod my head. I know because my daughter just said. They are all daughters and eldest sisters who have experienced it firsthand. Now we have the upper hand. If you want Li Changze and Li Changyuan to take the initiative to retire, nature has a way. Preserve the dowry. We alone are not enough. I need all my cooperation, because I don't just want to keep the Pei family. I also want Li Changze and Li Chengyuan to pay their debts. What I said to Pei Jing, it's something that really happened in a previous life. The fate of the Pei family. It's a lot worse than that. After the eldest sister was thrown into the cold palace, Emperor Li Changze soon had a good opportunity. People in the harem. It has always been the most competitive. The eldest sister was abolished. Accompany the family. Before my eldest sister died. Eating almost every day. Humiliated by palace maids and eunuchs. But although the eldest sister is a useless queen, he was also the emperor's wife, Yunchang. Although the maids and eunuchs did not dare to abuse him, but if you get a good opportunity. After a family accident, Li Changyuan did not ask for it at the first time. Instead, lock me in this dark hint. Every 3 to 5. He will come and tell me what happened when Pei Jiachi met people. And the latest situation of the eldest sister. Because he hates me. Before marrying me, Li Changyuan already had his favorite daughter, Qin Wanning. Because of my existence, he can't win thousands of emperors with the gift of a concubine. Even push yourself. Start with me. Pretend to be very loving. At that time, Li Changyuan often said, "Every time I'm close to you, this king feels extremely disgusted." He hates me for taking up Qin Wanning's position as a concubine. I hate the Pei family even more for surviving for so long. So much so that he will not lose his wife in the future. The sweetheart is married to someone else. So it's just wrong for Li Cheng. Saint Luozi is cheaper for me. He makes people care about me. On the one hand, because you take good care of it, he even took the remains of his brothers, delivered to me. laughing and describing what they looked like when they died tragically. Since rebirth, I just close my eyes. The younger brothers come to mind. Dead without a whole corpse, the Pei family has always been loyal to the royal family. Never have two hearts. Why did it end like this? Just based on the surname Li in this world? Sister Pei Jing took the mirror of the eldest sister Pei Shu. Give it back to us. One person arranged a maid who knew Kung Fu. Personal service. My marriage with Ayu was bestowed by the emperor. If you want to refund, unless the emperor lets go, the older sister who calmed down finally realized, we want to refund. It's not easy to admire. Even if Li Cheng made a big mistake with Li Chengyuan, for royal pride, the emperor can't easily let you annul your marriage. And I blinked. If they made a mistake. It's the most irresistible kind. The current training is still full. The emperor has no intention of training people who really want to move their families. It's Li Chengze and Li Chengyuan. Once Li Chengze and Li Chengyuan commit capital crimes, the emperor naturally can't force me and my eldest sister to do it again. Marrying his eldest sister seems to have thought of something. What I said in August, perhaps before we attack, there will be no more Li Chengze and Li Chengyuan in the dynasty. Pei Jing sighed. Admonished too, no matter what you want to do, you have to put yourself first. I nodded too. Daughter has one more thing to ask. Not waiting for Pei Jing to ask. I will go directly. The 9th prince, Li Chengyi, who grew up in the cold palace, now over 8 years old. I want to ask my father to think of something. Let the emperor notice him and let you become Li Chengyi's teacher. Empress Hui, the biological mother of the 9th prince, just a humble little maid. Once a favor. Not only did it fail to fly to the branches, on the contrary, I don't know why I angered the emperor. Caught in the cold, Li Chengyi was born in the cold palace. The poor are not favored. Even the emperor is indifferent to the enterprise. So, Li Cheng's life in the palace was very difficult. In my last life, my eldest sister and I accidentally bumped into each other. Li Cheng was humiliated by the other princes in the palace. We can't see it. He lifted the siege. Afterwards, the eldest sister told Li Cheng about it. Li Chengze put on the mask of kindness for himself, facing Li Chengyi a little more care. We were just doing it by hand. But later the Pei family was framed for rebellion. But only Li Chengyi believed that the Pei family was innocent. He went to beg his new brother Li Chengze to thoroughly investigate the death case, but he doesn't know. It's all planned. In the end, Li Chengyi was denounced from the bottom of his heart for being unfaithful. He demoted Li Chengyi to a commoner. Confinement. Also wronged to me. Talk about that. The words are all humiliation to me and Sister Chang. You sisters are all good means. The king of the Hook, Naiju Emperor, is fascinated by you. Unfortunately, he is now unable to protect himself. I want to rely on him to save the accompanying family. Although the dream process of matching the bright moon is a bit of a problem, but Pei Jin still succeeded. Let the emperor notice, the 9th prince, who is still in the cold palace, when training to become Li Chengyi's teacher. Me and my eldest sister. I am busy dating the 3 girls of General Qin Si's house. Qin Wanning. This 3rd girl, Qin Wanning, it is the person who Li Chengyuan will never forget in his previous life. And the reason why Li Chengyuan fell in love with Qin Wanning? Because according to the original trajectory, Qin Wanning will save Li Chengyuan, who fell into the water today. Li Chengyuan shows that they already have a skin-to-skin relationship. He is willing to be responsible for Qin Wanning, but Qin Wanning is not rare. His Royal Highness King Jing is engaged. If you don't want me to be your concubine, Qin Wanning looks like I saved you. Why do you still look like you are avenging your kindness? Qin Wanning before launching into the water. I don't know the identity of Li Chengyuan, but also because of Li Chengyuan felt more and more that Qin Wanning was noble in character. After I was imprisoned by Li Chengyuan, he told me countless times about his release from prison with Qin Wanning. Maybe men just like to be mean. The less you can get the more you want. And Qin Wanning is Li Chengyuan's love and cannot be, "Oops, someone fell into the water." The maid's exclamation suddenly came from the boat. Li Chengyuan fell into the water like in his previous life. Wan Ning subconsciously stood up, but I reached out and pressed him back. The person who fell into the water was a man. If you rush to the rescue, I'm afraid it will tarnish my reputation. It will also implicate your two married sisters. This time, I won't let Qin Wanning save Li Chengyuan again. I would never save her. I want her dead. May I ask if you are hesitant for a moment? He grew up on the border. Temperament. It is also very different from experiencing these noble daughters of aristocratic families. A few words are not enough. Sure enough, after a brief hesitation, "You change lanes tonight. I can't control the words of the world. But I can't because I'm afraid. Things that haven't happened yet, just watching a life, disappeared before my eyes. I suddenly understand the smoke. Previous life, why does Li Chengyuan miss him? I can't imagine with a smile that there are many ways to save people. Why do you need to ask the three girls to go into the water in person?" I gave the boatman a look. Next moment, the boatman jumped into the water without hesitation. Swim towards Li Chengyuan, who is struggling. This boatman is proficient in water. It's from the Pei family. I want Li Sungwan dead, but he can't die yet. The reason why Qin Wanning was stopped, I wanted him to suffer more. Second come, he wanted to cut off the opportunity for him to meet Qin Wanning. Although Li Chengyuan in his previous life, he was angry at me for not being able to marry Qin Wanning. But Qin Wanning is a good person. In his previous life, he never took Li Chengyuan seriously. Qin Wanning later married a young general, Huo Qi. It cannot be seen from Li Chengyuan's ugliness. After he married Huo Qi, the day must be very beautiful. The person who caused my suffering was Li Chengyuan. It's also Member Li who I want revenge on. Nothing to do with thousands of years. Member Li is alone today. He came here for a secret meeting, and a secret meeting with Li Cheng. It's my personal maid, Wang Kui. In the past life, until he died with his master. Just know, it turned out that Wang Kui had already become Li Chengyuan's person. Li Chengyuan promised to be late Sui. He'll take him for money when it's done. The two of them were long before I married into Jingguang Mansion. It has a beginning and an end. And Li Chengyuan, condescending to seduce the maid by my side. I just want to take advantage of Wang Kui. God does not know ghosts. Put the evidence of moaning in the study without a mirror. Later, the Wang Kui mirror was hopeless near the study. He and Li Chengyuan came up with a way. Wang Kui took advantage of my trust in him, proof of rebellion. Hidden in my congratulatory gift for training, and that gift training is very much loved. On the day of receipt, he ordered someone to put it in the study. Let's talk about it. Wang Kui is Li Chengzi and Li Chengyuan, down a family. The most crucial night. After Pei Jing went to prison, it was also Wang Kui who stood up and only recognized but Li Chengyuan did not achieve his own. After the promise is fulfilled, Wang Kui was silenced by him. I looked up to the shore. After the boatman rescued Li Chengyuan, Wang Kui, who was hiding in the crowd, was obviously relieved. I vaguely remember the day Li Chengyuan fell into the water in the previous life. Wang Kui seems to have also sued me. So I'm leaving the house today. I didn't bring Wang Kui on purpose, just want to gamble. Now I made the right bet. Li Chengyuan is indeed torn up by the essence of the wan. I just don't know what went wrong. Li Chengyuan fell into the water when the ship docks. The boatman also rescued Li Chengyuan. My eldest sister and I deliberately did not show up. And Wang Kui was as expected. Run to Li Chengyuan for the first time. Wait for Wang Kui to help Li Chengyuan up. When ready to leave, I just walked ashore in a tone of disbelief. Why are you here? Wang Kui today is the reason why the family is sick again. Told me to marry. Before he could react, I will first explain the reason he used. Don't wait for him to react. The eldest sister accompanied the book change and exclaimed, "Isn't this His Royal Highness King Jing?" Wan Kui, the second girl, and His Royal Highness King Jing have already had a marriage contract. As the maid of the second girl, why did you avoid the second girl and be alone with His Royal Highness the King of Jin? The eldest sister did not say the word private meeting, but the people present, there has been a lot of discussion. I am generous to men and women who are speechless. But Wan Kui is my maid. For whatever reason, shouldn't have had a private meeting with my fiancé behind my back. Li Chengyuan is also, no man would go behind his fiancé's back. A private meeting with the other party's maid. Li Chengyuan subconsciously covered his face to, Miss Pei got the wrong person. I am not King Jing. Longstreet sneered. I just said, His Royal Highness King Jing has a marriage contract with the second girl. But never revealed my identity. If you were not King Jing, how do I know who I am? Overnight, Jing Zhongduo, a lot about Li Chengyuan carrying his fiancé, tear up the rumors of the opposing forces. I heard that Empress Liang brought Li Chengyuan into the palace. Eat a lot. And I will personally bring Wan Kui sent to King Jing's mansion. I deliberately chose when Li Chengyuan returned to the mansion. Block him at the door. Yesterday's minister was reckless. Trouble for His Highness. I pushed Wan Kui to Li Chengyuan and said, Wan Kui belongs to Chen Nu, to be loved by His Highness. And that was his blessing. Although the minister and daughter are already engaged to His Royal Highness King Jing. But as the saying goes, cunning demolishes 10 temples. Don't ruin a marriage. So, the minister and daughter specially sent Wan Kui to King Jing's mansion today. Whether it's making him a concubine or a house, both ministers and women are absolutely speechless. Shuba didn't wait for them to react. I turned and jumped on the carriage, moving away from here at breakneck speed. I'd like to see it. It's useless. How will Li Chengyuan treat Wan Kui? When Queen Liang sent someone to pass me into the palace, I am playing chess with my eldest sister. Please be filial after the eldest sister finishes the sunspot in her hand. I won! Before the lady comes, I'm still betting with my eldest sister. How will the process solve the late crime? The eldest sister guessed that he would invite the queen to come forward. Wan Kui is indeed in the Queen Liang palace. When I came, Wan Kui was still kneeling in front of Queen Liang. The atmosphere doesn't dare to come out. Queen Liang said. Li Chengyuan thought of the sword late. Not having an affair with him. Li Chengyuan still likes the two girls. But I dare not meet the second girl. So I came up with a compromise. I made an appointment with Wan Kui to meet you. Ask him about your preferences. After saying that, Queen Liang took one out of the well. Very finely crafted gold hairpin. This is the golden hairpin prepared by Li Chengyuan for the second girl. Queen Liang gets up. Slowly insert that golden hairpin into my hairline. King Jing knows that he has made you angry. Dare not say. He entrusted this palace to wait for the transfer. I'll leave it to you with my head down. He didn't say anything. Empress Liang seems to have just remembered Wan Kui. As for this girl, Wan Kui, second girl, take it back. King Jing took him. There is no love between men and women. I pretend to be confused. Could it be that the minister misunderstood? Queen Liang curved her lips. This is a misunderstanding. Now the misunderstanding is cleared up. The second girl, don't be so angry anymore. I dress shy. The courtiers dare not. The minister is reckless. Wan Kui will be sent back. And that's exactly what I expected. Once he was left in King Jing's mansion, it confirmed the rumors outside. It is impossible for Queen Liang to let her son carry that notoriety. And I keep Wan Kui. In fact, there are other uses. I know. You are already King Jin's man. After returning to the mansion, I directly show down with Wan Kui. Late reminder looks terrified. Kneel down and beg for mercy. And I look down at him. The faint way sent you to King Jing's mansion yesterday. I wanted to fulfill you. But unexpectedly, His Royal Highness King Jing will send you back. The girl is wrong. Wan Cui kept kowtowing while crying. His Royal Highness King Jing said that he would make this servant a concubine in the future. In exchange, just reveal your business. Just disclose some compensation information. It doesn't matter. I pretended to be distressed. Lift up the bowl drunk. Silly girl, you look so beautiful. Been with me for so many years. I was going to... In the future, I will carry you into the concubine of His Royal Highness King Jin. Ben Kui Wenyan couldn't help but stay in place. I wiped the blood from his forehead. Things of the past. Let bygones be bygones. As long as you work well for me, I will make your wish come true. Wang Kui is pregnant. She is still pregnant with Li Chengyuan's child. Zheng Fei has not yet passed the door. Li Chengyuan made his fiancé's maid pregnant. I quickly fermented in the mirror. When entering the palace, almost no one in the mirror knows. I heard that Queen Liang was angry and fainted. The emperor and Li Chengyuan in the book. I stayed in the room for a while. When Li Chengyuan left the palace, there is also a trace of blood on the forehead. Now Li Chengyuan's reputation is completely stinky. Zhang Jipei made me a cup of tea. It's just that Queen Liang is afraid to hate you. I smiled and said I had no intention of making him like me. Me and my eldest sister. Future, but his 2 sons will pay the price. Like in Kui's stomach tonight. Have a child with Li Chengyuan. We can take the opportunity to try. The emperor's word. I looked at Zhang Ji in surprise. The eldest sister continued. Marriage is not hatred. Li Chengyuan did such a thing. It is normal for us to have the idea of breaking off the marriage. It would be best if the emperor could let go. If not, let's stick to the plan. I can't help but think of you. The things that were locked up in suggestion in a previous life. Okay, then a long unlock message. In the last life, Kui was not pregnant. I didn't expect that I would leave Wang Kui behind. It's a crooked trick. Create a chance for yourself to break off the marriage. Too many sacrifices. Now I have given the emperor one. The opportunity to accompany you into the palace through the bottom of the box. As for whether it will succeed or not, that depends on Providence. In the evening, Kui was carried into the Jin Palace. Became Li Chengyuan's concubine. And after the emperor scolded me, Pei Jing finally agreed. I broke off my engagement with Li Chengyuan. On the day he officially divorced Li Chengyuan, I hugged my eldest sister and cried with joy. Nobody knows how much I want to divorce Li Chengyuan. It's just that the eldest sister wants to divorce Li Chengze. Almost impossible. 2 princes were born one after another and were forced to withdraw their relatives. Even a fool knows there's a problem. So we have to be more careful with Li Chengze. The eldest sister accompanied the book to drink a glass of wine. Happy. The man has entered the East Palace, became a celebrity around Li Chengze. He Jingdao's eldest sister put down the wine glass. The more so, the more we have to believe, yeah? I echo a lifetime. After all, it was Chu Jun. Li Chengze and Li Chengyuan's backer is the emperor. I want to bring them down completely. You have to start with the emperor. Let their father and son be centrifuged. It's the first step we take. No father and son since ancient times. For that seat. Even the brothers were killed. The son was naturally killed. What's more, the emperor has so many sons. Self-compensation. After becoming the master of the 9th prince, Li Chengyi was gradually noticed. Especially Li Chengyi, very talented at the reading ceremony. Recently, Li Chengyi was often praised by the emperor. Even Li Chengyi's mother, Hui Ping, It is also expensive with the mother and the child. Not only out of the cold palace, she was also named a concubine. It's a leap to the sky. Now Li Chengyuan is wrecked. The emperor began to pay attention to Li Chengyi again. This is in Li Chengzi's eyes. It was the emperor who tried to help Li Chengyi up, fight with him, and concubine Hui, from a maid who never even had a name. It becomes taste, is the best proof. As long as people are in a hurry, it's easy to make mistakes. Li Chengzi is no exception. In order to suppress Li Chengyi, Li Chengzi interceded for Li Chengyuan, who was still grounded. But the emperor not only did not let go, instead, he ordered Li Chengyuan to leave Beijing and move to the emperor's life. Prohibition is for others to see. Li Chengyuan would have been able to go back to court in a while, continue to serve the emperor half hairpin. But now, Li Chengzi was in front of the courtiers, plead for Li Cheng's injustice, even implied. The emperor should not favor Li Chengyi because of his favor. He named his biological mother a concubine of wisdom. Beijing was very happy when she talked about it. I glanced at the eldest sister's escort. It turns out that the scheming emperor in his previous life, now at a time when one's position is in jeopardy, you make mistakes. He doesn't seem to be as difficult as he imagined. Brother Fu's status is threatened. The younger brother naturally wants to develop his own power. So we're ready for the future. I also know sword memories. Then let's go 3 ways. I remember he was very good at crafting weapons. Training and teaching the 9th prince, Li Chengxin, very attentive. And Li Chengxin never let down Beijing expectations for him. But the better he does, Li Cheng became more anxious. He frequently swords courtiers, has attracted the emperor's consort. The Empress Liang in the palace finally couldn't sit still, summoned the eldest sister to accompany the statement. Queen Liang wants to accompany, no longer be Li Chengyi's teacher. The eldest sister showed sarcasm. Before Queen Liang summoned her sister, Li Chengzi has hinted at the training several times, but they were all ignored by Beijing. That's why Queen Liang personally summoned her sister. And I took it. Queen Liang dotes on Li members very much. And in my previous life, I was a princess. Nature is inevitable. Keep in touch with the good queen. So today, the good queen summoned the eldest sister. What would he say? I can almost guess. The eldest sister accompanied Shuoji also arrived. I said to him, Li Chengyi is now a danger. Instead of letting someone else be his teacher, then let Beijing do it. I will always be Beijing's daughter. And this quiet. Is there any reason not to help your daughter? I couldn't help but laugh. The eldest sister did not promise Queen Liang anything, but Queen Liang heard this. I will definitely think that the eldest sister is making a statement. He might even think, trained to be Li Chengyi's teacher. It is to win Li Chengyi over for Li Chengzi. But their mother and son will never know. The person who let Li Chengyi and Hui Ping leave the cold palace. It's me who's bored. Follow the original trajectory until the emperor died. Li Chengyi has never been in his eyes. Now I made Beijing Li Chengyi's teacher. In addition to wanting to repay his superiors, the son's trust in the Pei family, I did have some intention to use it. In return, the whole dowry will do its best. Send him to that supreme position. After the Mid-Autumn Festival, Dingzhou sent a flood. People are displaced. Li Chengzi proposed to let Li Chengyuan go to Dingzhou town disaster, make up for the emperor English, and ordered Uncle Liang to assist. It concerns the people. I didn't plan to dig a hole for Li Chengyuan, but he actually did a big death himself. The letter from Lu Sun said, Li Chengyuan will take some silver taels for suppressing disasters, shipped to his other yard. Beijing and his heavy path. It was the weapon he prepared in private. The cave was expelled from the capital. Li Chengyuan held a grudge against the emperor. In addition, the land patrol deliberately guides Li Chengyuan felt that Li Chengze would be abolished sooner or later. So in just a few months, Li Chengyuan began to use the bandits as a guise, raising a group of private soldiers abroad, whether it's forging weapons or raising private soldiers to hide. Although Li Chengyuan is wealthy, but I can't stand to support so many people. So he turned his mind to the nutrition of disaster relief. Gotta figure out a way. Let the emperor know. Li Chengyuan was paralyzed without the food for the disaster. The eldest sister accompanies Ming to guide. I nod my head. As for Li Chengyuan's private weapons and silk-raising soldiers, it's not time to poke it out. Although my eldest sister and I want revenge, but we never thought to calculate the life and death of the people. If we take revenge for ourselves, disregarding the lives and deaths of tens of thousands of people, then we will work with Li Chengze and Li Chengyuan. What's the difference? I quietly left the scriptures to meet Wan Kui. Li Chengyuan. I don't want a maid to give birth to a tree for me, the eldest son. So after leaving the menstruation, in the evening, the child of Kui-affiliated middle school died due to an accident. But Li Chengyuan didn't dare to let Wan Kui die like this, at least not yet. When I saw Wan Kui, he was sitting in the court in a sackcloth and linen. Li Chengyuan dared not let Wan Kui. Death often tortures him in different ways. Although he is nominally Li Chengyuan's concubine, but in fact, she is not even as good as an ordinary maid. Now, Li Chengyuan is going to Dingzhou town disaster. Wan Kui's life is better than ever. But in any case, it cannot be compared with when paying compensation. He was the first thing by my side. Not to mention coolies, is to enjoy this kind of life. He never touched it. When you see me, Wan Kui's eyes were almost instantly filled with tears. He knelt down abruptly at me. Plead to. Please. Remember to save the slaves in the past. Wan Kui, I changed his name all my life. You were the one who wanted to be King Jing's concubine. I fulfilled you. Why are you going back now? Wan Ru's face is full of regret, girl. You don't know. King Jing is not human at all. Wan Kui cried bitterly, but with obvious fear. But what kind of person is Li Chengyuan? As his former princess, how could I not know? I looked down at Wan Kui Dao. You are now Li Chengyuan's concubine. I just want to save you. I'm also powerless. He hurried to... As long as the girl can get out of here. The slaves are willing to do anything. Really willing to do anything. 1 inch gritted his teeth until he could leave alive. The servant is willing to go through fire and water for the girl, without hesitation. King Jing's concubine, Wan Kui, suddenly entered the capital. Li Chengyuan for disaster camps in Yumo town. Wan Kui shouted all the way into the capital. When the emperor finds out about it, in the scriptures, most of the people have already... Everyone knows about Li Chengyuan's greedy Inktown disaster camp. According to Wan Kui, shortly after Li Chengyuan left the menstruation, someone carried several boxes of silver coins. Go to King Jin's courtyard. And now that silver is in another yard. To prove that Li Chengyuan really greedy for the money used for disaster relief. Wan Kui also specially brought a few bottles of official silver into the mirror. The Son of Heaven is angry. Order someone to watch Wan Kui temporarily. Osama sent another march. Go to Li Chengyuan's other courtyard to explore. I really found the official field used by several strong disaster suppression. In a few days, Li Chengyuan will be escorted back to Beijing. Accompany the second girl. Think about how to deal with good next. The Queen and Li Chengze's counterattack. The person who spoke was the 9th Prince, Li Chengyi. I heard Li Chengyi's address to Li Chengyuan. I suddenly realized something. Driver, I tried to get His Highness. You shouldn't risk coming to see the minister at a time like this. Li Chengyi looked up at me. He is not yet 9 years old. Not as tall as me. Li Chengyi compared himself If I were Li Chengze, I will catch that Wang Kui was your maid. This year, throw dirty water on the Pei family's head. What are your suggestions under the hotel? Chen Sheng asked. Li Chengyi's lips slightly raised before Li Chengyuan responded. What if Li Chengze forced the palace? When Li Chengyi asked the first question, and I realized something. He was reborn like me and my eldest sister. No wonder he's doing so well in society. The eldest sister sighed. I suddenly remembered my use of him. Before leaving for compensation, Li Chengyi said, I know Miss Pearl is trying to take advantage of me. Provoke a fight between Li Chengze and his father, but I don't care. The second girl is just seeking self-protection, and I do need a dowry assistant. After all, we share a common enemy. Therefore, the ninth prince, Li Chengyi, will cooperate with me. At Li Sung Yuan, he was escorted back to the money, forcing Li Cheng to rebel. And he did succeed. Li Chengyi uses me to accompany the person installed next to Li Chengze passed fake news to Li Chengze. Li Chengze believed it. He really brought Li Chengyuan's private soldiers into the palace, trying to force the palace. Li Chengyi saved the car, and Li Chengze was taken down by the imperial army on the spot. Private soldiers were originally raised by Li Chengyuan, but from the moment Li Chengze used them, they were already branded by Li Chengze. Print: the weapons hidden in Li Chengyuan's courtyard. It was also searched by the advance. This shows that brothers moved today. I'm afraid it's not entanglement. It was premeditated. The emperor looked injured. The weak ninth prince, Li Chengyi, when he ordered Li Chengze to be imprisoned in heaven, strict interrogation. Pei Jin talks about Li Chengyi's performance in the palace. Very happy. Li Chengze and Li Chengyi this time. Presumably, there will be no chance to turn around again. Zhang Ji accompanies Chen Sheng Dao as long as they will die one day. We can't be careless. Pei Jing smiled and said, no emperor can tolerate his son thinking about his throne, especially in the way of forcing the palace. Li Chengze and Li Chengyuan rebelled together. The evidence is solid. The emperor gave them both death. But he at least gave Fei Prince and Li Cheng. Yuan left a bit of dignity. He just gave the two a battle, but he didn't behead them. As for the machinery in their mansion, also the rest were beheaded by subordination. And the marriage contract between the eldest sister and the prince finally lifted. Fei Prince Li Chengze and Li Chengyuan were given to die. The eldest sister accompanied the book and got drunk in the mansion. I suddenly had a dreamlike feeling. Li Chengze and Li Chengyuan are really dead. I started a hot topic. In my dream, I went back to that old building. Li Chengyuan ordered people to use it on me, while talking to me about his hatred for me and the memory of Qin Wanning. He felt that Hodge was not worthy of Qin Wanning and Ming Yuan. If only you had died sooner. Li Chengyuan's tone was full of regret. If you die early, if the dowry is negative earlier, why should this king watch? Looking at the beloved woman marry someone else's wife. Li Cheng hated me so much. I suffer from physical indifference. While smiling. Just because you are worthy of marrying Qin Wanning, you dream. The dirt in my mouth. Blood spat on Li Chengyuan's face, and I looked at him in anger. I did it on purpose to provoke him. I was liberated. But I didn't wake up. In my dream, I saw the scene after my death. Li Chengyuan in Cindy. Li Chengze got rid of the Pei family. But he also became the confidant of the new brother. Because he and his new brother are the same kind of person. So the new brother uses him. I'm also afraid of him. I don't know how long it took. Dream scenes are always jumping. Lee Chung-yuan is dead. At that time, he had already been named king of close relatives by his new brother on the day of my eldest sister's death. Heart-to-heart with close relative Wang alone. And in Kyushu, a close relative of the king, poison in the heart. He doesn't even bother to play any tricks. Willing to use a very direct and effective means. Take the life of the penitent king. In my dreams, New Geography Chengzi. There is some affection for the eldest sister's accompanying letter. I only know this little friendship. Compared to his country, it's nothing. Queen Liang's family was very powerful. What they did outside the palace, I know better than anyone else. It is precisely because of this, he can't tolerate a wife who is too powerful. I looked at my new brother, Lee Chengze. There will be a woman who is somewhat similar to the eldest sister. Introduced the harem. Became a favorite concubine. He pretended to mourn the girl of his eldest sister. It made me do it. When I woke up from a coma, I just feel so sick. The eldest sister is guarding by my bed. Flesh on the face. See me wake up, he was so nervous. Ai, you are awake. Listening to the hoarse voice of the eldest sister, I subconsciously asked, "Sister, how long have I slept?" For 7 days. During these 7 days, a lot has happened in North Korea. The surveillance emperor fell ill after contracting the cold. The 9-year-old 9th prince, Lee Cheng-yi, ordered nuts in just a few days. Make the courtiers take notice. Even Beijing, they were all shocked by Lee Chung-shin's outstanding performance. Me and my eldest sister, they all unanimously decided to hide it from Beijing. Lee Cheng is reborn if there is no accident. Lee Cheng-yi will most likely inherit the Great Road in the future. Once a man becomes an emperor, there's no guarantee it won't change. As for this secret, one less person knows and one less danger. Beijing. Future arrival identity. It is enough to protect the Pei family. As for me and my eldest sister, it is fortunate to be able to avenge the revenge of a previous life. More we don't force. My eldest sister and I prayed in the name of the emperor's blessing at Pei's house. They built a temple, pending training. Know our intentions. Don't force. Lessons from a previous life. We don't trust anybody anymore. It's better to take this opportunity to practice, but in the future. The emperor thinks of Fei Prince Lee Chengze and Lee Cheng-yuan again. At least not at us for it. Not to mention the so-called practice. It's just a show for outsiders. After half a month, the emperor finally began to improve. After listening to my promise with my eldest sister, the emperor was silent for a long time. Compliment me that Beijing gave birth to 2 good daughters. After the emperor recovered, before the courtier speaks, he made the 9th prince, Lee Cheng-yi, the crown prince. I'm hugging Mrs. Tang. Suddenly remembered late, he did leave Lee Chung-yuan's other courtyard alive. Only, after the dust settled on the murder case between Prince Fei and King Jing, disappeared in prison forever. Since he decided to report Lee Cheng-yuan for corruption, is doomed to die. It's just that he has been given that little bit of so-called hope. Blinded. From the very beginning, I had no intention of letting him live. Previous life, if Wang Kui hadn't compensated me for the crime of being a slave, hidden in a congratulatory gift, accompanying is a family, wouldn't have ended like that. Whether it is me or the dowry, never treated him. But he still, without hesitation, I chose to help Lee members. Also married for. Just to go to a physical location. How ridiculous. The 9th prince, Lee Cheng-yi, was appointed prince. I accompany the eldest sister. He left the capital in the name of cultivation. In a previous life until death, we are all trapped in the capital. Now, we want to go out and see if Beijing is worried. I specially found a few handmaids who are good at kung fu to accompany me. On the way, Zhang Ji couldn't help but praise. It turns out that the world outside the capital is so big. I swallowed. Look around at the mountains and streams. I heard that the 4 seasons in the south are like spring. Flowers bloom even in winter. The eldest sister smiled and said with a smile, "Then let's go all the way south. Let's take a look at the flowers in this winter." "Okay," I replied. "I want to take a look too." That only exists in picture books. What is the place like? Fortunately, we all still have a lot of time. You can take your time. And here's the thing. The rich general who died to accompany Brother Heng in his previous life, Zhang Qian, is now in the south. In a previous life, he gave death to his brother. Following orders. But let such a person appear next to his brother. I'm not at ease, so I headed south this time. In addition to wanting to see the customs over there, I also want to solve this hidden danger. I won't kill him. I won't embarrass him. I'm just going to go and meet Brother Pei Hong, who is stationed in the south. Remind him not to let Zhang Qian become his rich family.